Let's have a little fireside chat for a second about yesterday's video of Linus. I received some comments saying that I was looking pretty biased because I didn't roast Linus for some of the same things that these other CEOs do that I make videos about all the time. And there are a few things I want to address. The first one being the most common one is that I didn't roast Linus hard enough for not letting his employees work from home. So first off, my stance on that hasn't changed. I'm still pro-remote. I still think companies should let their employees pick what works best for them, provided they're getting all the work done and meeting expectations and stuff. And I also think it's lame that Linus doesn't let his employees work remotely full-time, at least for the positions that can do that viably. The thing with the Reddit post is that it says, oh, and remote work? Forget it. As if they don't offer it at all. LMG hates work from home, and that's because Linus hates work from home. It was initially introduced for COVID, but has since been reduced to a maximum of 2 days. So it's not remote work? Forget it. It's, oh, you actually have 2 days remote, and so it's hybrid. Oh, you made it seem like they don't allow it at all. So that's why in that video I said, well, it's his company. He makes the rules. Realistically, as an employee, what options do you have? You can go talk to them about it, try to reason with them to the best of your ability and try to convince them to let you work remote full-time or whatever it is you want to do. But if they say no, there aren't a lot of options you have left because they aren't breaking the law. And working remotely is an employee preference that they don't have to accommodate. In my videos where I poke fun at companies that are forcing their employees to come back to the office, it's usually about the reasons they're trying to give employees. Like in Palky's video, some of her reasons were think of all the money that you're not spending and all the coffees that you're not having and all the food that you're not buying. Of course, that's ridiculous. I'm going to make fun of it. Or like the other company that wanted to give everyone a laptop bag and they made a whole music video about it. But I also acknowledge that companies don't have to give you any reasons to bring you back to the office. And I don't like it any more than you do. That's just the way it is. So if you've already talked to them, then there's not a lot left in your power that you can do to change things other than go get a new job. Another thing I want to address is that I said, well, you can get a new job. And I guess that didn't sit well with some of you because I've also said it's not that easy to get a new job. And I still stand behind that. In fact, that's why I said, are you stuck? Because that is me acknowledging that it's not that easy to just get a new job. However, that's all that you can really do that's within your power. Again, especially if the issue is an employee preference. When I first read the title of the Reddit post, I was kind of shocked. Couldn't wait to see what it was going to say. I was like, this is going to be big. And like I said in the last video, I read through it. Besides the wage discussion controversy and the wage theft accusation, the post was essentially employee preferences not matching up with employer preferences. And to get that point across, they used anecdotes and hearsay. And even the wage theft accusation was hearsay. But that's the only one that would appear to break the law, so of course I'm going to mention that one. Now the Reddit post itself begins with factual mistakes, and it's hard to get behind someone that starts off their argument that way. They say, Linus falsely states that Canada is not at will. He didn't falsely state anything. Canada is not an at-will country. The next thing I want to mention is the logical fallacy they tried to use to support their argument, which in my opinion isn't the way to go about it. They say Linus doesn't care because he hasn't worked a real job in more than a decade. This is known as the no true Scotsman, or the appeal to purity. It comes from this. No true Scotsman puts brown sugar on his porridge. The fact that Angus McGregor puts brown sugar on his porridge just proves that he's no true Scotsman. Usually when people use this to try and prove their point, it ends up just making them look silly when you call them out on it. This just screams saltiness and gatekeeping. And again, it's difficult to get behind someone using logical fallacies, especially when a majority of their arguments and statements are from hearsay. Honestly, it seems like whoever wrote this Reddit post was just reaching for anything someone else out there might think is bad. There is no clock in, clock out system involved. Instead, you simply enter your time into a Google spreadsheet. If the point of writing about the lack of a clock in, clock out system was trying to somehow correlate it with the wage theft you write about a few words later, well then it didn't really do a good job of that, as it never really made that connection. So in the end, it seems like an insignificant complaint because a lot of companies use this method anyways. Again, if you read the post and try to maintain an objective point of view, it's hearsay. LMG is a bad place to work and nothing is being done to improve it. The post says keeping track of hours is also bad, but then doesn't explain why it's bad. This isn't me not defending the employee. This is me asking questions the same anyone else would. You can see why these complaints look petty. I'm not intentionally being biased. The next thing I want to mention here is the article says writers earn between $55K and $60K a year and are instructed to release a video every week. They have to write, build, prepare, shoot, and get the video to the editors for review each week with essentially no backup. If that's the case, I would understand why you talk about pay, because I imagine maybe they deserve more for being more than just a writer, or maybe that's not it at all, and the pay is just low, but that's not clear either in the article. Just because I break apart the arguments of the person that wrote this post doesn't mean I fully support everything that's happening in the post. That's not the way it works. If these things are happening to the employees there, it's difficult to do anything without any evidence. But if you do have evidence, I'm happy to reconsider my view based on the facts. Imagine for a second if I made a video like this Reddit post. For example, I say, work from home at this company, forget it. But we actually get 2 days, and we were full-time before during COVID. And they might take away our 2 days. And I don't have any reasons why we can't work from home other than my boss doesn't like it. What is there to say about that? Imagine if I accuse someone of wage theft, essentially like this post does. The comments would be, RIP Josh, I hope you have proof. I hope you have good lawyers. And just because I say that doesn't mean I'm doubting the validity of these claims, but I'm not going to take a stance publicly without any evidence. And I think that's the most reasonable thing to do. The next thing I want to address is this employee handbook page with wages on it, because I got a few comments that said, well, that's obviously in there for the HR and payroll people because they can't talk about what the employees are being paid with people that work there. So while I would like to believe these comments are true, nowhere on this employee handbook does it explicitly state who this is for. And from the looks of the front page, it seems like a general employee handbook. The wording is pretty clear though, all wages. It is not to be shared, discussed, or left in a place that can be seen by coworkers or third parties. Again, if the wage theft accusations are true, that definitely needs to be looked into. And I would really be interested as to why the wage section exists in the handbook. But the truth is, he doesn't have to give us a reason. Honestly, I think my take in the last video was fair, and it was consistent with the things I still make videos on and will continue to make videos on. All right, that's it for this one. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm happy to discuss. I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.